these hollow vowels. But I just worry about it, about giving up. How can I go without it? The doubt will push you through. Get caught up to attend to all the frustration I have inside my head. Tell me to go away again, I guess. We can all be warriors, assassinate the foe inside your mind. And over time, raise your page, watch it cut through the end. Sometimes out of my head, just say there should be said. How can I go without it? I'm searching for with a break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end inside. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. secrets to the night, so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. Falling away as I'm searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see you. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. Baby, I can see you. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout it out to the sky.
welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Today you are joining us for Boise State going up against Boise State, excuse me, Boise State is in the NACE Star League Last Chance Qualifiers. We have been following the Last Chance Qualifiers all this week as Boise State first started in Valorant and Rocket League. Now they're going to be going on to Overwatch Last Chance Qualifiers. We'll see if they can dig themselves out of a pit that they have fallen into because they haven't really been able to naturally qualify for any of the postseasons so far this year. They are all in Last Chance Qualifier, which if you have seen us before, you know that that is the toughest road that you can possibly take. You have to go through the slog of being in Last Chance Qualifier, and then you also, on top of that, or probably even if you do make it, you're going to be seeded against the top-seeded teams who naturally qualified for the playoffs. But every huge journey begins with the first step, and I think the first step the Broncos should take is to listen to Doc's keys to the game in Overwatch, and that is going to be to take fights in unexpected places, don't make positioning mistakes, win 1v1s, and win your fights before objectives. It's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite game to win cash and prizes for free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming is the right game. Has the right games, competition for you. Challengers to Boise State is University of Michigan Flint. UM Flint, Overwatch 2 in a best of 5. Boise State probably would have naturally qualified for playoffs. However, they had a match of Bellevue, and I do think I did cast that a few weeks ago. I think if I do remember correctly, Boise State got off to a great start in that fight, and then all of a sudden things just started going. Bellevue won 3 in a row starting on Hybrid, took a loss from put a loss on Boise State's record, and if you know anything about how competitive NACE Star League divisions are, sometimes 2, even 1 loss can be enough to knock you out of contention from going on to the playoffs. But Boise State still had a good record overall, only had 1 loss in the regular season, so reason to be cautiously optimistic as they are heading up against University of Michigan Flint, UM Flint in Overwatch. Now, this is the round of 16. Should Boise State win their match at UM Flint, they will be going on to face Wichita State in the round of 8. And then and then the top 4 winning teams from that round of 8 will make it to the playoff bracket. So 2 games is possibly separating Broncos from the NACE Star League playoffs. This is going to be the first. UM Flint is starting out on Overwatch. Should be the same order that we have come to know. It's standard best of 5. Starting out on Control, and we are going to be starting out on Samoa, I believe. Time for a bit of a tropical change of scenery. First time I think we've seen this in NACE Star League. Of course, introduced with Maga, and Boise State definitely has enjoyed that particular hero choice as their tank. Back Boise State, I was saying, yeah, Clear is coming on in, ready to join the Broncos. There's been a star player for the Broncos, actually has had a stint in Korea recently playing pro, but he did tell us he'd be back for the NACE Star League postseason, and indeed here he is. Boise State playing a casual game arena around the Rosie on the point, trying to take out the Maga, but both teams are so tanky in how they're supporting their main tanks. The only pick is Plato's going to be able to pick up Jaugi on the side of Michigan Flint, and that's actually pretty big because that's the main healer gone for Michigan Flint, and with the main healer gone, the tank falls soon afterwards, and Boise State has control of the point. Gonna check a little bit off to the side to see if anyone is coming through that flank route. Fire being exchanged between the two. And now we've got the Maga showdown yet again between Clear and Dorbino, but Dorb is taking a whole bunch more damage. There's just so much DPS that can be forced out through the Wolverines comp right now, because you both also got the Maga and the Bastion on top of that, but a charge right in, trying to focus down the Bastion. He gets that. Doesn't matter at all. The so Suzu will bail him out from that. Boise State continuing to pile on the eliminations, clearing out Michigan Flint, and going past 50% on the main point. Bit of a quick reset, back on to reposition through Matt Merck's teleporter. Plato now online with the Deadeye. Chosen also has the Kitsune Rush. In fact, Boise State has a really good ultimate advantage over Michigan Flint. They'll start with the Kitsune Rush, heading on in there. Now everything's available to Boise State. They take out Pixel, Dorbino follows, and now it's just a few squishies left. That Lucio using his speed boost to get away. It's yet another reset, and only one more chance for Michigan Flint to bring this back. They'll start out with a barrage, artillery barrage. But no, not really. Boise State, it only got Matt Merck. Chosen had to spend his Suzu, though, to get on out of there, so that cooldown is gone. Here comes the Deadeye, just as a zoning tool right now, unless anyone peeks their head out just like that. Maeve eliminated, and Boise State now at 99%. There's a beat out from Michigan Flint trying to keep them alive. Pixel down to half health. And the cage match being brought out by both players. It's a Maga throwdown. And Clear is the clear victor in that fight. Boise State securing the point the first round and could be looking at a quick control win.
1-0. Ready for battle.
Boise State had a lot of success. I mean, I think you gotta recognize on who your main healer is and who is keeping people alive. And that Moira, I mean, Lucio is more kind of there for the utility and the speed boost and maneuverability he can give your team. He can provide some healing, but I mean, Boise State, the first elimination they picked up was the Moira. They knew that that was kind of the crucial linchpin to Michigan Flint's security, health security.
1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
So we just finished up on in downtown. Moving on over to the beach. Gotta say, a nice change in scenery, making me feel all in the mood for summer. We've had very nice temperature. It's in the 60s right now after a long, cold winter, so seems like Samoa is really fitting. Of course, it doesn't really matter to the Broncos. They just want to pick up the win here. Matt Merck trying to duck and weave between the sidelines with the soldier. Boise State moves on back. I mean, they already made so much space for themselves by pushing up forward that they are just able to hold Michigan Flint to the chokes. Pixel with the storm arrows takes out Chosen. Main healer gone for Boise State. How much does Michigan Flint push forward? Oh man, that Maga almost bit off more than he could chew. Matt Merck was just peppering him with damage, as he also is Maeve off to the side. And he picks off that Maga. I have to wonder, yeah, I didn't really see his supports near him at all. He just had the Hanzo backing him up, so now they're able to actually go in on the back line that was hanging way back here, completely take out Michigan Flint. And they have had that point in the, oh look, Maga's pushing up yet again, but the team is still on cooldown, so he can't get the full healing, just a bit more of a soft reset. Boise State doing a great job making space for themselves. Plato just sitting on top of this Deadeye. Rubino moving off to the side, trying to focus down this soldier, but the soldier can run away, and Clear pinches him in. Plato picks up one with the Deadeye, and once again, it's a collapse onto the back line. And I mean, this is just the thing about Overwatch 2. One tank means that your tank has got to be on point. Oftentimes, it is the tank diff in a match that will decide it. And I mean, Clear has just been winning these face-offs time and time and time again. Plato does get taken out by Maeve. Matt Merck running away, has the visor on deck. Kitsune Rush as well. Swap over to the Widow from Michigan Flint. Kitsune now popped. Boise State moving on in with their visor as well. So much damage going on to that Widow. Taken out. They spend beat as well. No surprise, this cage match was spent by the Wolverines. Dorbino, though, it's not going to be enough to turn it around. Boise State survives through the cage match. They use their own cage match on top of that. And that happened in the first map too. Seems whenever they were trying to use their big ult, the cage match, the Wolverines did, Boise State just kind of matched them and said, Clear was like, I've been facing off against you guys all match. I can do this just the same. I'll enclose you to my space, and he throws down his own cage match, and then the rest is history. So, quick win for Boise State on Samoa. We will move on to the next stage, which is hybrid. After that, Flashpoint. Should it go to a 4th or 5th map, then we will move on to Push, finally wrapping it all up with Escort. With it being UM Flint's choice, that means UM Flint, if I'm correct, I'm just looking at the standings here right now. I got my little cheat sheet. UM Flint, okay, Boise State entered into this match being 3rd seeded overall in the LCQ, and UM Flint is seeded 14th. Again, even in the LCQs, if you're lower seeded, you tend to get pushed up against kind of the larger teams. So Boise State should be feeling pretty confident about this match, has the better competitive record, wants to move on to the round of 8, and if they can take off Wichita State Esports, ooh, that's actually going to be a very competitive match. That's number 3 versus number 6, so that's going to really kind of be the decider match, the one I'm going to want to see, because Boise State has had some unexpected losses. So sometimes these mid-range teams, these mid-tier teams can really show up the Broncos and pull out some unexpected wins. So we'll see how that one turns out when we indeed get to it. That one's going to be taking place March 21st. So just in 2 days, actually, on Thursday. That should be very exciting. Make sure you tune on in, because all this week we have got NACE Star League Last Chance Qualifier. It's been do or die for Boise State's teams. Their Valorant team played yesterday and fortunately went home after suffering a very tough loss. That was one of the closest Valorant matches I have ever seen. And hopefully this Overwatch match can be just as competitive. Of course, we want a Boise State win. I mean, you know, blue background, blue shirt, you know, everything. I mean, we're a Boise State network. But for the sake of entertainment, we also like seeing other teams have great plays and take Boise State all 5 games. So we'll see if that can be done for this match. And we move to Eichenwald, has been a popular second choice for teams that don't favor Kings Row.
Ready for battle.
Boise State most likely wanting to start out on defense. I see the blue lines outlined on them, and they were blue team last time, so pretty darn sure that's Boise State in defense. They normally try to hold them out, not even let the payload go through. Last time they were in Eichenwald, I think they held the payload to the first point to the very last moment, and then the payload was just barely captured at the very, very end. Only made it about halfway to this arch that you see right here. Boise State stopped their opponents before they actually reached the castle. This is a big moment for Boise State, having Clear grand reunion, being able to group back up with them for this fight. Urbino moving in with this. Zarya just pops the bubble instantly. No fear, Clear is going to reposition. Moving on back, Pixel, so much damage, that Fura taken out just by the Maga. That is disrespectful right there. Didn't even need a DPS. Plato and Maverick had nothing to say about that. Clear just had it locked down pat. Moving on in, trying to land some more headshots. Again, putting pressure on the Zarya, who's just popping these bubbles left and right, but isn't making any forward progress against the Broncos. That Hanzo all out by himself. Clear. Just more target practice from here. A bit of a sneaky sneak around the computer store, trying to move in, backing up to Zarya, but from behind, Urbino just barely gets on out of there, drops off the ledge, back down to the choke point. Boise State just can't get past the mountain that is Clear, but Clear's got out of position. He moves up too far. Urbino capitalizes on that, and Boise State now without their tank is being pushed back toward the point. UM Flint now moving toward their first tick. They've got it. On to the second tick, and that spawns so far away. Don't know if Claire can get back in. Maverick does what he can, picks up the Ana. Move in on toward Maeve. Brings out the reflect. They're not going to take that bait. Pixel storm arrows on the Chosen. Clear comes back in on the respawn just when Boise State needed him with a double. Make it a triple. Boise State keeps the payload from being captured. But UM Flint, 2 ticks. So one more good team fight and they've got it. it's just kind of a waiting game. Once Clear was out past that archway, once he fell down from that high ground and had no supports close enough to keep him alive, UM Flint collapsed very well. They'll try to split up Boise State again by using a Dragon Strike. Clear picks up that Lucio. The Hanzo goes down as well due to the large bagel booping. Clear, another elimination onto Jaugi. Dorbino was trying to bring this back. A demo onto Clear. So Boise State has to hope that those 3 eliminations they got in that last team fight will be enough, buy them enough time for Clear to come in off the respawn. They've got the Dragon Strike and the Beat as a possible tool to stall things out. Nave, low on health, heals back up. Boise State now has 2 more ultimates online. They'll use the Kitsune Rush, Grafton, Surge onto Clear and the team. Swipe around the corner with the Deadeye just as a zoning tool. Beat has been expended for UM Flint. They now have no ultimates left. Excuse me, I spoke too soon. The overclock comes out for May. Clear gets the elimination onto UM Flint's tank. Large Bagel takes out the Lucio. And it's been a tank battle. Whose tank drops first? And this Hanzo also goes down. A nasty stagger placed onto the Wolverines. Boise State holds it yet again. But each team had to spend all of their ultimates. I mean, I'm glad Boise State won, but I don't know how thrilled I am at the prospect of spending 4 ultimates to overcome the other team's 3. But whatever it takes, I suppose. UM Flint getting very close with that Dragon Strike. That's probably going to be the only ultimate that comes in for this team fight. Big loss for Boise State off Plato. That's a bunch of their main damage gone. Dragon Strike expended by UM Flint. They move on to the point. Pinching in Clear between the payload and the Dragons, but Mapper comes in, has a double, trying to turn this around. He has to go up against the Zarya, will go up against the support beforehand. The Zarya places the bubble onto the Lucio. Lucio trying to get away. Gorbino is going to mow him down, and now it's Large Bagel doing what Lucios are known to do, trying to stall out this point. Cannot stop touching it, and Boise State, UM Flint gets the payload. Again, like I said, last match, it was kind of toward the very end, and then the payload was finally claimed. That does mean that Wolverines do not have a lot of time to work with here to get all the way to the castle, and this first choke can be especially brutal with that high ground that this castle affords the defenders. Moving on in, oh, their Genji moved in a bit too far. Clear collapses down on him, gets him from the back, trying to take down their Hanzo, not going to be, take down their Soldier, not going to be able to get it. Clear moving back, has to go back for a health pack, regroup with his team. Plato, oh, that is not elimination Boise State wants to see. Huge stagger onto them. I don't know if they can test as a full team here. They made their way around 2 corners. We're getting our way toward the bridge, and don't sleep on Bagel here for the chance of an environmental elimination that can happen. Cage fight expended on the very high ground. The Zarya pops her bubble, but it is not enough to overcome Clear. Now moving in, they've gotten UM Flint to expend their beat, but it's not enough. B eliminated by Bagel. Boise State, that was a great fight for them. Not only did they stop UM Flint, but they got them to expend their beat, which is such a huge counter to any offensive ultimate there is. It's basically the closest thing to an Omni get-out-of-jail-free card that you have for your team. I mean, there is Immortality Field and Suzu, and there's a reason why those abilities are some of the most important in the game. Being able to say no to the other team is not something to be underestimated in the slightest. Right now, Boise State trying to pelt them down from above. Deadeye force them all back into the building. Don't know if one of them will tempt fate. Nope, they're just going to wait it out. Sometimes a zoning Deadeye is all that's needed. Large Bagel gets the Genji. Pixel eliminated. Clear making space for Boise State. Now only 40 seconds left. Probably 1 or 2 team fights, but I think it might be a league closer. It could be a very long, protracted team fight because UM Flint is getting pushed up very close to their spawn. Kitsune rushes to start things off. Coalescence used in response by UM Flint, as well as Grafton Surge and Overclock. That is definitely going to make Boise State have to spend their beat to survive. It's not enough to save Clear, however. He hit Pixel while he was reflecting. The classic tragic Genji case. You shoot at him and he shoots back at you with your own bullets. Plato picks up a double, but is that going to be enough to save the Broncos' hope? Sure looks like it. They only have got a few DPSs on the point who cannot survive. 1 DPS, 1 support, excuse me. They get rid of the Tracer, get rid of the Moira. And now it's just a few last staggers to try to keep the round going. It's not going to be enough. UM Flint gets stuck at, you know what, like I was saying, almost the exact same point as when Boise State played Eichenwald last. Took about the same amount of time off of the other team on defense, and then, so this is just kind of a mirror match. And Boise State won that last game, so I would say this is probably good omens for Boise State against UM Flint. Just a final look at just the cleanup duty of Matt Merck coming on in. Boise State ready with attack. We've seen no desire from them at all to want to swap off this Maga.
Ready for battle.
They seem very comfortable with that tank choice. Due to the silhouettes here, yeah, I believe I'm not seeing too many swaps over. No doubt that's Bagel still on the Lucio. I think I also see Matt Merck still on the Genji. And then I also saw the Kariko, so just about everyone. It's just a full run it back. Less my eyes to see me, but no, we also see the Cassidy as well. This is the exact same comp that Boise State had on defense. Now they're just going to swap it on over to offense. The question is, what are the Wolverines going to bring to the fight?
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Off we go around the first corner toward the choke. Clear moving through. Oh, UM Flint has brought out a turret to be on defense, but immediately, as soon as I say it, the turret gets taken out. So one of the main positives of Torp has been eliminated from Boise State. They waste no time charging onto the point. Clear moved in, took so much damage. He's holding on by only 50, but he's bailed out by his supports. You have got to thank them, Clear. Helps you take out the Torb, and then moving on up, they still want to get the main prize, which is Azaria. Runs right into her. She has a lot of charge, but Boise State still trying to go after the main tank. Matt Merck eliminated by Dorbino. I don't know how much damage Clear can push out. He can push out a lot by himself on Maga. He has Plato back him up, so still kind of the main damage dealers are alive for Boise State. Takes out the Moira. With Kariko is traded in response, cleans up, gets rid of the Sojourn. Boise State just on positioning. My goodness, every single low health hero are just easy pickings for Plato. He took them all on, both DPSs, both supports, and all of them fell. Boise State gets the first point. So now it's just a hop, skip, and a jump, and Boise State will have hybrid, move on to Flashpoint to decide it all at the very end. They do have 3 ultimates that they can work with here. Plato with that Deadeye, Large Bagel and Chosen, both with their beat and their beat in the Kitsune Rush respectively. Molten Core is going to start things off for UM Flint, just spraying it all over the point, but it's, oh man! Boise State just immediately took on that Torbrow. He was still stuck using his ultimate, got a quick elimination off of him. They move forward as if nothing ever happened. Matt Merck uses Focusing Beam to get rid of Maeve as well. Nice stagger onto the DPSs for UM Flint. They've swapped the Force off of Pixel onto the Cassidy. I don't know if the team can get back as fast as Lucio's going to have to go full speed boost for the team to even contest, but can they even get to the point? Clear's body blocking them on the high ground, zoning Deadeye, and it's enough to keep the Wolverines off the point, not even get a contest. Boise State cruises on in to another victory. Plato will be great. Yeah, I gotta give it to him here. He, like I said, he took on every single DPS, every single support that UM Flint could have thrown at him, and he got an elimination against all 4. Great job all around, and a 2-0 now for the Broncos, looking at Flashpoint to end it all. And if Flashpoint is anything to judge by, then we are most likely going to go to Servasta. Probably not New Junk. So here's hoping that Blizzard releases some sort of other Flashpoint stage, because I don't know how much longer in perpetuity we can have only 2 choices here for this one mode. I know we give Kings Row so much grief about being kind of the de facto hybrid pick, but hey, at least there's options in hybrid, not necessarily the same for Flashpoint. But if there's any stage to be stuck with, Servasta is a good one. Always has a nice variety in the points that it can have. And I think Boise State is going to claim this 3-0, honestly. And that because Servasta is that stage where if you're able to win that first point, you're able to get market. Boise State has shown that they are very good at using that advantage that winning the first stage gives you in positioning to make it to the next flashpoint first, be able to set the fight on their own terms. And the other team is then, for the rest of the fight, just kind of scrambling to find a foothold. They have to kind of hope and pray that the RNG works out in their favor and there's a flashpoint closer to their spawn in which they can maybe gain a toehold, but you just have so many more options when you win that first flashpoint. So Boise State, most likely, if I'm to guess, it's probably just going to stay in the Maga. I know the Lucio for sure for that speed boost. Probably the Kitsune Rush as well from the Kitsune. I mean, maybe we'll see 1 or 2 DPSs, but I mean, I think with the way Boise State's performing right now, they've shown they're happy on this tank. The tank is working. The Maga's working. Clear is working. And here's a little bit more example of how much it was working on Samoa. Not only Clear, but you had great great backup from Matt Merck and Plato, who've been consistently getting the eliminations that they need to. It's kind of been a showdown between Clear and Dorbino for tank supremacy, and then whoever wins that fight whoever loses that fight gets their whole backline collapsed in on by the DPS, and Plato and Matt Merck. Been very good in just kind of deleting those low health heroes when that tank is no longer a concern. And oh boy, isn't this a coinky dink? Yep. I called this. It was Servasta, basically kind of the de facto choice for Flashpoint. And hey, Boise State could be Servasta, could be New Junk City. If it's a stage that allows them to get a 3-0 sweep, they'll have no problem with that. So here we go, Wolverines versus Broncos in the last match of this round of 16 last chance qualifiers match for Boise State. Winner of this goes on to face Wichita State Esports 2 days from now, and whoever wins that punches a ticket to the NACE Star League Finals. Bit of a chance for us to admire all the scenery. Servasta, undoubtedly one of the prettiest Overwatch stages, I would say, that has been released. If you're that type that likes to crank the graphics up to max, there's definitely a lot of eye candy to enjoy here. Of course, in most of these competitive games, people keep their graphics on the low setting because FPS is more important, but you know, sometimes we gotta live for the aesthetics. Sometimes, if you're paying for that 40 graphics card, you gotta show off that you have it. I mean, you're the only one that can see the graphics, but maybe reassure yourself that that big of a purchase, it's at least making the stage look pretty in front of you, right? Trying to justify life decisions and purchases. Let's actually get toward the game here. UM Flint. They have brought on a Junkrat. Yeah, only 1 DPS change for Boise State. They're going to be moving on to the Tracer instead, which is going to be such a pesky pain in UM Flint's backline. Matt Merck definitely going for a lot of picks in the backline. Large Bagel and Matt Merck, I was telling you, he looked and found that Lucio. Plato and Matt Merck, a tag team eliminating basically every low health hero, and then Dorbino has no support left. Clear gets him with the help of Plato. And Boise State, clean win on the first point. And remember, these flashpoints charge up a bit faster than normal control points, so Boise State, there's probably 1 or 2 team fights left before they move on to the next. Matt Merck, sneaky, hiding out in the corner, now going in on the back line. Not going to be able to get that Cassidy, but is looking for his next target. Has to recall on out for the full health. Gets on out of there. Oh my, that is so nasty. Pixel with 1 shot right around the corner. Headshot into Matt Merck. That Tracer disrespecting you. You just got to lay down the law. Clear charges in, gets the stun onto the Soldier. She is gone. Her health is melted away. They're facing a lot of damage from this charged up Zarya. Boise State loses Large Bagel. Suzu from Moose. Oh man, that is one nasty Zarya. all charged up completely, and he's just charging up more. Kitsune rush in though with that Zarya drop down, leaving her Moira all on the point alone. And Clear collapses down on him. Look at this, Boise State just pushes Zarya back. Great job on positioning. Flint was only able to get 33% on the flashpoint, and Boise State is just going to try to push up to the chokes, make sure Flint doesn't even touch the flashpoint to contest this. And that'll do that. Boise State, first flashpoint. Oh, bringing out the Deadeye, finds one onto Lucio. A grenade gets tossed onto Plato, but the beat bails him out. Boise State coming on in. Now another Deadeye, this time from UM Flint. Boise State will duck back out of the sidelines. They already have a good advantage. They haven't made their way over to the other flashpoint. No, now Clear moving as fast as he can. That flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds. Moving their way over to Palace. A lot of great upper sightlines that can be claimed, but these hallways off to the right are a bit narrow, so it might actually be a fight in the courtyard itself. Clear's waiting on this cage fight. It's the only ultimate Boise State has to their name. UM Flint has this beat, and the Coalescence as well. Cage fight right onto the tank. Coalescence used in response as well as the beat. They paid one, but baited out two from UM Flint. UM Flint gets rid of the cage match, but then Plato comes in, eliminates that Lucio. Matt Murph taken out by Pixel. It's a one-for-one trade. Both teams losing a low health hero. This Torbjorn just focused down by Clear. Him and his turret charge in. That Zarya was so charged up, she just aimed her beam at Clear and melted his health away. Boise State, respectable first charge though, got up to 49%. One good team fight and they can claim this back. Matt Merck is going to swap off the Tracer, move on to Ash. Throws out a dynamite, lands it right onto that Zarya. We'll get a nice extra bit of chip damage, but that Zarya, so much health, is already healed back up. Take a bit more than one dynamite to knock her down. Moving on in, Clear with against the Molten Core isn't frightened by Maeve at all. These Molten Cores just have been landing for the Wolverines, and Clear with a double. Large Bagel comes in to continue on the elimination train, getting rid of the Wolverines tank. Boise State has this flashpoint back for themselves, so it's just as Moira left trying to survive. Doesn't want to stagger out. If she would have been taken out there, that would have been a very bad reset for UM Flint. This next team fight is going to be the one that decides it all. This is for all the marbles. Matt Murph, one shot, one kill, right onto Maeve. And now coming on in with the Deadlight, such a great zoning tool for Plato. He can just keep anyone from going through this corridor, trying to get the Lucio, gets him with the shot. Lucio of the Zarya is next on the elimination train. Boise State has cleared out UM Flint, gotten the second flashpoint, and we'll move on to the third. It'll be Temple.
How's it going?
One final rotation over, and Temple, one of my favorites, the water, always a wild card that can be brought into the match. You don't want to discount those environmentals. And then you also got this cliff way off in the back as well. Hey, look at that! Forget about environmentals, just get one with the Deadeye right there. Plato with a triple coming on out, forcing UM Flint for a complete reset. Boise State will get the flashpoint claimed. And we'll start ticking on up. Matt Merck very close on his infrared sights. Clear has his cage match beat also online for Boise State. Kitsune Rush is probably also going to be online for this next team fight as well. UM Flint, meanwhile, only has the Coalescence. Large Bagel gets rid of that Widow.
No one.
Matt Murph pops infrared sights. Clear, though, takes a nasty dump right. Oh, man. Jaugi gets him. Matt Murk trying to even things back up, gets rid of the Morio. That is a lot of healing gone for UM Flint. And Moose lands one with the knives into the Lucio. The Hanzo's gone too, and even though Boise State didn't have their tank, UM Flint, Dorbino is a good tank, but cannot stand up if the rest of his team isn't there to support him. Clear now grouping back up with the rest of his teammates. Few shots exchanged. Mattmark trying to take some off angles, gets focused down, has to get on out of there. 17 out, not going to be able to escape from the Lucio. Charge on in. We are nowhere near the flashpoint right now. And hey, Boise State, if they're kind of able to bait UM Flint, yeah, into fighting off point, then they can just claim it for themselves. And Boise State wins with a 3-0 sweep. And we'll see who gets the nod from the game in the final play of the game. It will be Plato yet again. Yeah, starting things out. I was marveling too much at the possible environmental kills due to the water and cliff, and Plato just instantly made me shut my mouth and say, hey, you know, don't even get fancy like that. Just take them out before that can even be a factor. Boise State gets the win over the Wolverines. That means UM Flint's NACE journey as far as spring 2024 is concerned is gone. Boise State still is alive. We'll move on to face Wichita State Esports on Thursday. We'll see how that match turns out. But you want to stay tuned with us throughout the entire week. And also, if you happen to be in the Boise area this week, then come on in Thursday at 5 p.m. as part of Hackford, part of Treeford Music Fest. Boise State is hosting a Smash Bros. Tournament. We're going to have a live DJ, live music, prizes for everyone to win. Everyone is invited and welcome. So come on down here on Thursday. Have a great time, make some friends, and enjoy the vibrancy and bustling that just happens whenever Treeford comes around. But as for today, that's going to do it for our match. We'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. They have a multitude of jobs, many of which offer a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. So go over to iGuard Idaho on Instagram to find out more if you want to connect with them. For now, though, that'll do it for us tonight. Enjoy your top 5 plays. Thank you for watching. I have to wonder, yeah, I didn't really see his supports near him at all. He just had the Hanzo backing him up, so now they're able to actually go in on the back line that was hanging way back here. Responds, cleans up, gets rid of the Sojourn. Boise State just on positioning. My goodness, every single low health hero are just easy pickings. We're definitely going for a lot of picks in the back line. Large Bago and Matt Merck, I was telling you, he looked and found that Lucio. Plato and Matt now coming on in with the deadlight. Such a great zoning tool for Plato. He can just keep anyone from going through this corridor. Trying to get the Lucio. Gets him with the shot. Lucio out. I was marveling too much at the possible environmental kills due to the water and cliff, and Plato just instantly made me shut my mouth and say, hey, you know, don't even get